marriage is turned into a financial security net for a woman. And women will always say that, oh, well, we can be the breadwinners, we can work, and guys can take the money from the woman. Yes, if you go into a marriage where the guy is making less than the woman and they get divorced, there are situations where she could be paying him. But when it comes to why the marriage is even, why the marriage even happened in the first place, uh, in general, just the way men and women are, she's going to date at her level or above when it comes to that long-term commitment with marriage. So she's going to look at the guy making what she makes or above what she makes, because just the natural order of testosterone and estrogen, and the guy being the leader, being the male, being the dominant, it's just going to play out that way. So when we're talking about marriage statistics and who gets screwed over the most, it's generally the guy, because that's just how it plays out in nature. So when it comes to marriage, when we're talking about these concepts of red pill, it's not like, oh, well, this can happen to women too. It's like, well, we know it can happen to women too, but overwhelmingly it happens to men because of the reasons that I just stated. So going off of the general thing that happens, marriage is a financial security net for the woman. It's just a legal contract. It's a piece of paper. You just take a pen and you sign something. You get her like a ring that's made of metal and there's a diamond on it. Just like, it's an object that you just put on your finger. It has nothing to do with biology. It has nothing to do with spirituality, attraction. It just, like, there's just different things going on to where we've taken something artificial like a pen and a paper and a metal band and a diamond, and that's supposed to signify something. So what happens a lot of times is these people get into these marriages, and whether the relationship fails for whatever reason, or just time goes on and you don't love the person the same way that you did when you met, or there's financial hardship, emotional hardship, you've grown as a person, you're different. So her leaving with that contract, that can end up taking a lot from the guy. He can lose his house, he can lose his income, he can lose custody of the kids, he can end up paying alimony for the rest of her life, kind of like she's an employee or something, right? So marriage is just, it's a good ideal. Like, I understand it. I understand, people who do want to raise families and you want to do the monogamy thing, and it makes more sense for the structure of that family to have the father in the life, the mother in the life, at least a semi-functional relationship between the two to raise those kids. So I understand the ideal of marriage, but when you add all these laws and the government interference with that, this has a lot of negative consequences for the guy especially. So it turns into this thing where, especially with feminism being promoted and no fault divorce, and just it's encouraged to just do whatever you want, and people are disposable, you can leave with no consequence. It's turned into this thing where it's more beneficial financially for her to break the contract, because she's going to get money from it. So if she just finds another guy later that she's attracted to or likes better, a failed relationship, a failed marriage, that's one thing. Go your separate ways, do whatever. But now he's paying because she moved on. It just it gets really complicated with that. So guys are waking up to this, and we're just thinking, like, why even do it? Why even sign a marriage contract? Depending on what you want out of your life, because like I said, idealistically, it makes sense if you want kids. Like the ideal of marriage, like the one man, the one woman, they're both, regardless of their past, they're both only committed to each other, and they're sticking with each other, they only have sex with each other, and they raise those kids in one house where they both split the work 50-50, whether that's her as a housewife and he goes and does a career, or whether they both work, or whether they split the chores around the house, or however their marriage is. The ideal of that is like the 50-50, the one man, the one woman, raising the kids in a stable environment. It's a good ideal. It's an understandable concept, but people are not just sexually attracted to just one person. And then when you add the government interference with that, and the courts and the laws, this is something that has really negative effects, especially for the guy long term. It's basically a coin flip, right? Like over 50% divorce. It's basically a coin flip on you losing your assets, losing your house, losing your money, losing custody of your children if you do choose to have children. And marriage can be a verbal contract. I can just meet a girl and we can just say we're married. We can be adults if we want to do that, and we can make that verbal contract. We are married. We don't need a priest. We don't need the government. Why do we need that? Right? So, to guys out there, if you're with a girl and she's pushing for that, and she wants that marriage contract, and she'll leave if you don't give it to her, and she's, oh well, you don't love me, or you would marry me if you loved me. Don't fall for that, because it's just a piece of paperwork, right? So whether you found what you think is the one, or soulmate, or twin flame, or however you determine that within your own spiritual understanding of how you're labeling things, just be very careful when you're bringing the government into this, because things can change. And you want to think that that's the one, and you're gonna be with her through thick and thin. But a lot of times, what if we have a year like last year where the economy shuts down and you lose your job? Is she really the one that's going to stick with you through thick and thin? Or does your loss of income, now you're at a lower level of like lifestyle than what you were used to, puts a strain on the relationship, and she can't take it anymore, and she goes with a guy that didn't lose his job, making more money, provides more stability? And this is just stuff that happens. You think that you found the one or whatever, but if you look at it from elementary school through adulthood, say the first time that you're getting that talk from your parents about male and female interaction and all. How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Doing good. I have the adult dresses on the front rack there and the kids on the back. How's your day going?
Great. That's cool. These are from India. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's where my husband's from.
Cool.
Yeah. Welcome back. Thank you.
Yeah, have a good one. But yeah, what was I saying? Just where I'm working right now. It's funny. I do these videos when I'm selling my tie-dye for this nonprofit I work for. So it's the perfect time for me to do videos, because I have no boss, no overhead. I'm just chilling at the beach all day, or the zoo, or downtown, or wherever in San Diego. But sometimes people will come up while I'm doing these videos, which is fine. I mean, I'm working, but it's just funny when that happens. But okay, yeah. So the kid is in elementary school, and he gets the talk from his parents, or the girl's in elementary school gets the talk from her parents about sex and birds and the bees. Then they have like that health class in 5th grade, and then they finally take an interest in the opposite sex, and maybe they go to high school and college, and then after college. So when you look back on your own life, was everyone like monogamous in high school? Was everyone monogamous in college? So it's like you think at 25 or something, you're just like, oh, like I'm ready to settle down now, I found the one. But it's like, dude, she's 25, so like, what does that mean? Like, you're not the only one, dude. Like, you're not the first choice. There's other guys that she's been with, so be careful with that. Like, it is, you are going to connect better with certain people. And certain people, it makes more sense for you to be with than others. So however you're figuring that out in your own spiritual path, whether it's, like I said, like a twin flame or a soulmate, or what you're attributing to that, or whether you think it's the one, or whatever your belief is on spirituality or religion or sex or whatever, be very careful with that. Because like I just detailed, even like in elementary school, like a group of girls watching like a movie or something, and like an actor's on the screen, like Channing Tatum, Ryan Gosling, Brad Pitt, some famous actor, or like there's like a boy band, and so these girls have like a poster in their room at like age 10 of like this actor or this boy band, and they're like, oh my god, like this guy's so hot, or this girl's so hot, like the guy doing that. So even from a young age, there's like that range of options, right? There's that there's the choice. So regardless of whether or when someone loses their virginity, or whether they want to keep their virginity until marriage, or until they think they found the one, you as someone that's 25, so let's say, and you've had years of your life up until 25, for you to just assume like just be off of like some lustful feeling that you found the one, or you've dated for, oh, we've been dating a year. I know it's like really, like a year's not that long to really know that stuff. Or like, oh, we've been dating 5 years. Well, 5 years is a good amount of time, but it's still, in the course of your whole life, 5 years is not really that long. So like, you think you met them at 25, date for 5 years, you've been you both are 30 now, like, oh, this is the one, right? We've been dating for 5 years. Of course, they get married at 30, and then in 5 more years some other stuff comes up, and now they're divorced, and he's losing his money, losing his assets. And it's like I said, like, think of life from elementary school to like whatever age you are now. Was it monogamous? Did you never watch like a TV show and say like, oh, look at like that hot actress, look at that hot girl on the billboard? So like, she's doing that too, right? Like, she could be just like a little girl watching a TV show, like, oh, that actor's hot. She could just be a girl in school that's a virgin, right? And she could still think that actor is hot, right? So even if she's a virgin when you meet her at 25, I mean that's super rare, but I'm just saying, even if she is, there's still been that choice. There's still been those options, right? So now when you become more realistic about where a 25-year-old girl actually is, most of them are not going to be virgins at 25. So now, elementary school, junior high, high school, college, after college, the media, movies, social media, influences of what she was taught by like the government and society and her parents and the schools. It's just like, there's so much going on that even if you meet her at 25 and you're 25 and you guys date for 5 years and now you're both 30, it's really like that 5-year chunk. It's not that much. It's not that significant for the long haul. So when you're signing that government contract, that is huge. That is a legally binding contract between you, the government, and that woman. So I would advise not to get married. I'm not getting married myself. I love women. I want women in my life. But if we're adults, like we're claiming we are, we can just verbally exchange what we're doing. We don't need to have that government contract. There's no real reason for it, especially too when the girl that wants the guy to have his stuff together. I understand it. You want the guy to be working and attractive and be able to provide. Well, me at 26, in 4 years at 30, I might be in a better position financially. So, because I'm doing better financially at 30, I'm just going to be like, oh, like, I met this amazing girl today. It's like, well, of course you met someone amazing. You're making more money. Like, it's just stuff to think about. So you get these guys that they'll say that. They're just like, at like 30 or 35, they're like, man, I just met this amazing woman yesterday, and we really hit it off, which is great. Go out there and do what you're going to do. But it's like, dog, did you meet that amazing woman at 18, like after high school graduation, when you didn't have a job, when you were figuring your life out? Like, don't just, oh, you got a promotion at work and then you met an amazing woman. Like, come on, dog, like, think about it. Like, you're making more money, you're in a better position. So just no matter what you decide to do, whether you decide to get married or stay single, have kids, don't have kids, just really think about the ramifications of that legal contract, because a lot of times it really just is the financial security net for that woman, knowing that once she has that contract, she has you by the balls, and if it's broken, she still benefits. So it's something to think about.